New account safety measures? I'm Keaton Phillips with more on the application that every MSU student will be required to download.
Feeling overwhelmed? I'm Bailey Poyum, and we have some tips on how to avoid stress.
Do you ever feel like you want to just throw your phone? Mallory Bird on possible reasons why.
Hi there. There's a change that every MSU student will have to make on their online account before the spring semester.
And some people aren't too happy about it. Take 30's Keaton Phillips shows us what it is. Keaton.
The university is requiring all students to set up Duo two-factor authentication to their account. This is a way to make your student data more secure using the free app Duo. Hypothetically, this will make your account and things more safe. So how is Duo any different than the current system? Well, when you go to log into your MyState, instead of just typing in your NetID and password, there will be a few extra steps. After you log in, you'll be prompted to send a push notification or type a passcode. Let's send a push notification. So after I press this, I'll get a notification on my phone. And now I just have to swipe the notification, press approve, and I'll be let into my account. You can go ahead and set this up right now if you want to. Some student workers have already set up Duo, but not all of them are that excited about it.
And why it's necessary and beneficial to the university, but at the same time, I think my overall feelings of it is just it's inconvenient. It adds an extra step, especially when I'm trying to just send an email or check a grade real quick or anything just really fast. If I don't have my phone around, it can be inconvenient to have to go and get that in order to access my account.
So what are the advantages to Duo? Do they make it worth it? I spoke to the Security and Compliance Officer of Mississippi State University, and he told me why Duo is so beneficial.
Well, one of the reasons why we have rolled out Duo for all students and all staff, and we've made that decision, is because of the experience that we've had with single-factor authentication. In other words, we've had a single day about a year ago where we had over 200 people on campus give away their password to a phishing attack in a single day. Two-factor authentication, where you have a security token or you have your phone with you, will make you so much more safe online. It will protect your email. It will protect your banking information that's in Banner. It will protect your student data.
Those who still don't have a smartphone. ITS says that if you contact them, they will give you one of these tokens. This is a token that will generate a passcode that can be used as the second factor for your account. Amber?
Thank you, Keaton. You may remember last spring, MSU was the victim of a hack attack. ITS says that this instance was caused by a device called a keylogger. Duo does not address that type of hacking. In other campus news, Money Magazine just named MSU the best university in Mississippi in its best college in every state 2018 listing. The studies looked at 727 schools and ranked them based on 3 categories: quality of education, affordability, and outcomes. MSU also placed in the top half of Money's national best colleges overall ranking, coming at 348. A Starkville man has been charged with trafficking in controlled substances. Starkville police tweeted that 38-year-old Bernard Belk was charged approximately finding 25 pounds of marijuana that were recovered. Police say the recovered drugs have an estimated street value of over $100,000.
Up ahead, some are helping students make a difference at the ballot box.
And we explain why some people are worried about the new iPhone release. That's after this break. This is Take 30 News.
A baby's arrival can be one of the most exciting times in a family's life. It can also be one of the most anxious, especially if the child's development is hindered by medical challenges that create more questions than answers. At Mississippi State University, we're groundbreakers in the study of CHARGE syndrome, a genetic condition that leads to a host of life-threatening birth defects. Our research teams are uncovering breakthroughs in treatment and prevention with a goal of greater understanding that leads to better care. We're also providing crucial support resources for parents and helping physicians around the globe gain awareness so symptoms can be detected and addressed earlier. By engaging in this innovative analysis and therapy, we're not only improving outcomes, we're unlocking brighter futures.
Welcome back. Mississippi State has encouraged their students to let their voices be heard this week by helping them register to vote. National Voter Registration Day is every year on the 4th Tuesday of September. This week, MSU had tables set up all over campus, including in the library and in the student union, where students could register to vote. Trained volunteers were there to help students fill out forms correctly and ask and answer any questions. Volunteers in the union today said that over 300 students registered yesterday. Jack Adamski is a freshman volunteer and will be voting for the first time in the coming elections.
It's exciting for me because I'm actually taking part in government. It's really important for college students to vote because kids who are like 18 to 22 are like one of the largest voting demographics in the entire country, and unfortunately not a whole lot of us try to vote anyways because we think that it's either not going to matter or we don't have the time or whatever, and when in reality it does matter. Voting is very important into making this sort of a democracy work, and so that's why we're doing what we are doing here today. You're doing so good.
Complaints about crashes and glitches. Tech 30's Mallory Bird explains why many smartphone users are upset and what's causing the problem.
For years, people have blamed iPhone crashes on updates to get people to buy new iPhones. The C Spire assistant manager, Micaiah McDaniel, says he's heard it all.
A lot of people say, well, the new phone's out. My phone just randomly started messing up. I mean, I get that. I've seen that.
Every time Apple comes out with a new update that they're about to release in their press conference, it seems like my phone blacks out. If I'm on FaceTime, the call will drop. Or if I'm trying to send messages, it won't send it as a iMessage. It only sends it as a text message, and sometimes it won't even go through.
I decided to do a poll on my social media asking followers if they had problems with their iPhones. 60% said yes, and 30% said no, out of a total of 150 votes.
I mean, you have these software updates that come out all the time, and people hate when they come out, but at the same time, it's rewarding because you get something new. People have had issues with, I guess, glitches around software updates. People think the battery power reduces somewhat.
You may think your iPhone is starting to glitch because of the new update, but McDaniel is saying otherwise.
Apple's $1 trillion company, so they're pretty good at what they do. As far as it being a random coincidence before the new phone comes out, I wouldn't say that because we see people every day with phone issues.
I'm Mallory Bird, reporting for Tech 30 News.
C Spire recommends that keeping your iPhone updated could help with the glitches, but keep in mind that older phones may not be as capable with the new software. If you're still having problems with your iPhone, many recommend visiting your local provider in store.
Coming up on Tech 30 News, MSU has a new queen and she's making history. Stay with us.
We all depend on accurate weather forecasts to plan our day. That's why Mississippi State University is teaching students to forecast the future using real-world news sets as classrooms, putting scientific discoveries in meteorology to the test, while honing on-air reporting skills real-time with local TV stations. And we do it so well that at any given moment across the country, 1 in 3 weather forecasts are being delivered by MSU-trained meteorologists who are helping people make crucial decisions that impact their safety, working to ensure business continuity, and in many cases, saving lives. Predicting the future? That's what we're preparing for every single day so that you can prepare for your day.
Making history, the newly crowned Miss MSU is unlike the rest. Hannah Oliver is the first out-of-state Miss MSU winner in more than 10 years. The new queen is from Arkansas. In the competition, Hannah placed in 2 categories, interview and swimsuit. Her passion for this university made her dream a reality.
I was so excited. I had no idea. It was so fun hearing my name called. They said contestant number 5, Hannah Oliver, and my mouth just dropped. Being Miss MSU means being a representative of everybody, and Miss MSU hasn't been an out-of-state student in over 10 years. It's a big responsibility, but I think it's something that I'm ready for.
Oliver is now qualified for the Miss Mississippi pageant coming in early 2019. Bad words, racism, and violence, these are things that can land a book on the banned list. But this week, MSU is celebrating the First Amendment, which provides the right to read and access information. Throughout the week, we held events to get people involved with Banned Books Week. Folks got the opportunity to create their own banned book t-shirt and could also listen to banned booked readings. Starkville Mayor Lynn Spruill read her favorite, To Kill a Mockingbird. Librarian Corinne Kennedy says other activities going on this week include a scavenger hunt found on the MSU Library social media pages. Participants will be entered in a drawing of a box filled naughty materials fills that can possibly be banned.
Really cool things in it. So they actually have a packet of coffee, a keychain, there's a headband that has Pride and Prejudice printed on it. You also get a candle. And then there's actually a young adult book in there, which I won't show so that way you'll be able to be a surprise.
Kennedy says there are still materials available to make a banned book t-shirt. All you have to do is bring a light colored t-shirt to the Digital Media Center in the library. If you saw hundreds of people in circus costumes around campus last Friday, you weren't the only one. The TK Martin Center for Technology and Disability held the greatest fun run on earth, a circus-themed 5K. Proceeds of this fundraiser went to benefit Project Impact, an early intervention preschool program for children birth to 5 years old with special needs, located at the TK Martin Center at MSU. MSU had hundreds of volunteers like Bailey Barnett take part in the fun run, which helped make it successful.
Martin twice a week, so I volunteer like 6 to 8 hours a week. And so I got to see that all the kids that I work with, and the kids that I work with are like nonverbal. So to be able to see them like running, you know, through all the crowds and through the different organizations and seeing them smile, like, was probably my favorite part. I thought it was awesome. I mean, there were so many families, and there were even kids that weren't in TK Martin that came out and supported and ran. And when I went and worked the next day, they told me how many people attended and that they raised more than they could ever imagine.
Next, a winning volleyball team and a visit from SEC Nation. Take 30 Sports is next.
We all depend on accurate weather forecasts to plan our day. That's why Mississippi State University is teaching students to forecast the future using real-world news sets as classrooms, putting scientific discoveries in meteorology to the test, while honing on-air reporting skills real-time with local TV stations. And we do it so well that at any given moment across the country, 1 in 3 weather forecasts are being delivered by MSU-trained meteorologists who are helping people make crucial decisions that impact their safety, working to ensure business continuity, and in many cases, saving lives. Predicting the future? That's what we're preparing for every single day, so that you can prepare for your day.
On Wednesday night, Mississippi State volleyball had their first home match in over a month. It was also the first home SEC match for first-year head coach Julie Daugherty as the Bulldogs took on the Auburn Tigers. Take 30's Parker Lee with more on a night of firsts.
It was a night of many firsts for Hail State volleyball. The first home SEC game, the first home any game in a month. For first-year head coach Julie Daugherty, Wednesday would be special. And not because a camel was in attendance. Yes, a real-life camel. After being on the road for a month, ending with a 5-game losing streak, Wednesday was a welcomed homecoming. In the first set, Mississippi State jumped out to an early 9-7 lead before Auburn would rattle off 7 straight points to take a commanding 14-10 lead and never look back, winning set 1, 25-21. In set 2, Auburn again quickly takes command and scores 4 straight before Aaliyah Stamatis dumps the ball early, catching the Tigers off guard. Auburn would score 4 straight to force Mississippi State and Coach Daugherty to call a timeout. In the timeout, she would try and rally the troops, but Rick Knowles' Auburn Tigers would just be too much for the Bulldogs. The Tigers would go up 2 sets to none, but then a breakthrough. In the third set, Mississippi State would score first on a block by A.J. Cooley and Deja Robinson. Auburn would respond with 3 straight scores, but Mississippi State would not back down. Two teams go back and forth until the media timeout locked at 15-14. Auburn would come out of the timeout strong, forcing Coach Daugherty to call another timeout. After Mississippi State pulls within 1 at 19-20, Coach Knowles calls a timeout, but that didn't stop the momentum of the Bulldogs. With the Bulldogs still on the brink of defeat, Julie Daugherty pours into her team. In the fourth set, the teams traded points until the Bulldogs scored 7 in a row to take a 6-10 lead. The Tigers battled back to within 1, 16-17, and even took a momentary lead, 19-18. Though, it would only last a moment, as the Bulldogs rallied 3 straight to take a 21-19 lead. The Bulldogs forced set 5 when Paige Shaw served an ace. In set 5, the teams played first to 15 points. The Bulldogs would break through again with 5 unanswered to take an 8-5 lead. But the Tigers refused to go away. They were able to set their offense and score 3 straight kills before Mississippi State's Paige Shaw answered with her own. Auburn's coach Knowles calls his final timeout to stop the bleeding and give his team one last wave of energy. But Paige Shaw would come in with a kill to put the Bulldogs up 12-13. Another block by Paige Shaw puts the Bulldogs up by 2. And who else but Paige Shaw? She puts down a nasty kill to give the Bulldogs their first win in 6 matches, and head coach Julie Daugherty her first SEC win. Paige Shaw, a freshman from where else but Alabama, was confident this wasn't a one-hit wonder.
We're just now getting started, so I think it's a really good statement that we made, and I'm just excited to see where we go from here.
But while Paige Shaw made some huge plays, Julie Daugherty says it was a team effort.
And we've got some kids that have some stuff that they can bring to the table, and so when something's not working, we've got to try other players. We went to a 6-2, we started a 5-1. I thought that everybody just responded really well to kind of they just found a way to get it done.
And get it done they did. For Take 30 News, I've been Parker Lee.
The Bulldogs' next match is Friday, October 5th, when the Wildcats of Kentucky come to town. That match is scheduled for 7 p.m. and can be seen on the SEC Network Plus or live in the Newell Grist Building, as admission is free for all matches. MSU football has a big weekend ahead of them. SEC Nation is returning to Starkville on Saturday as the Bulldogs take on the Florida Gators. SEC Nation will air from 9 to 11 a.m. Central Time, and the football game will air on ESPN at 5 p.m. Good news for students. Due to the road closures in preparation for the big day, students with commuter decals can park in any commuter parking zone tomorrow. MSU's track coach Stephen Dudley has decided to retire after being a coach for the Bulldogs for 17 years. In 2010, when he received the head coaching position, Coach Dudley has mentored 8 national champions. He released a statement last Thursday morning wishing the program his best in the upcoming season. The Lady Bulldogs soccer team had a heartbreaking loss on Sunday at Tennessee, bringing their record to 8-2. Following the loss, the team was taking part in something much bigger than a game. MSU soccer is ranked 19th for the first time in program history, and being in the top 4 each week, the Bulldogs finally got their names added to the list. This Friday, they're looking to add another SEC win against the Florida Gators. The game is set to start at 7 p.m. More soccer news. For the second time this season, Zakira McGilvery has earned the SEC Freshman of the Week award. After her game-winning goal against South Carolina, she was given the honor. That was her 4th game-winning goal this season and is tied for 2nd in the SEC and 5th in the NCAA this year. McGilvery leads the Lady Bulldogs with 13 points this season. Football and soccer are not the only 2 sports getting crowd involvement this season. Mississippi State's volleyball is finding new ways to gain more crowd involvement. The Newell Grissom Volleyball Building has new renovations for this season. Not only did the university provide a new Jumbotron, but yesterday they invited Cowboy the Camel. But it also brought in more spirit leaders too. Yes, we're talking about Mississippi State's cheerleading squad. More of the squad members are required to support the volleyball team to bring in more fans and help support the Lady Dogs to get a victory.
Volleyball, I love the volleyball games. They're a lot of fun, really exciting. This is the first year that we have the whole squad here. It's a lot better this year. It's a lot more fan engaging, a lot louder, and a lot more people are noticing and showing up to the games.
Still ahead on Take 30 News, 'tis the season for stress. Some tips for students as we approach midterms. We'll be right back. Study rooms like this one in the library are seeing more and more action as midterms draw closer. From studying to trying to keep your grades up to maintaining a social life, it's not hard to see how college students are becoming more and more stressed. I recently spoke to a student and we talked about his stress and ways to avoid it. Will Stewart is a senior here at Mississippi State, and with midterms approaching, he's feeling the weight of these tests.
A couple things that cause stress are homework and tests and studying and classwork and going to bed early and waking up early and everything else involved in school, I believe, causes stress. Some things that could contribute to stress would be like family situations. If you live far away from home, maybe you'll miss home, and or anything like even game days. You want to go to games, you want to hang out with all your friends and stuff, but you got a lot of homework, a lot of tests to do, so you stress about that. When you're going to do it, if you're going to have time to do it, all this other stuff. So I handle my stress usually by either playing video games or hanging out with my friends or going home and just chilling at the house. Pretty much anything that doesn't pertain to school and responsibilities is what I do.
When I spoke to Will, it was 9 p.m. and he was in a study room in McCool Hall where he planned on spending most of the night studying for an upcoming exam. Mississippi State offers many ways to help students relieve stress. Although I was unable to speak with someone from the Health and Wellness Center, there are options available there, and counselors are available for those who want to talk to a professional. The number to reach the Health Center is 662-325-7539. Bulldog Bash is upon us, and it's one of the busiest nights of the year. Until last year, the main stage of the event was set up in the Cotton District. It was moved downtown to the corner of the Main Street and Jackson Street, where it will be located at again this year. Bar owners and bartenders were unsure of how this change would affect their businesses. During the event last year, the majority of the crowd stayed downtown until the concerts ended. Then students flooded the Cotton District, forcing the bars to actually close early after police suggested they do so. Blake Carroll is a bartender at Fountain Bar and says they expect the same size crowd after the show again this year, but that they are ready for a packed house.
We're going to serve 1,000 people, and we're going to have security strictly enforced to make sure everybody has a good and safe time during Bulldog Bash. I think everybody that actually works in the bars are all on schedule for Saturday night. There's people coming from like not even living in Starkville, but from around the areas that's like coming up here just for Bulldog Bash. No, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
Theater MSU is kicking off its 2018-2019 season with its production of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit. The cast and crew is made up of 25 MSU students. The first public performance is tonight at 7 p.m. in the McComas Hall Theater. There's another show on Sunday, the 30th at 2 p.m. Tickets are $12 for the general public and $7 for MSU students and children under 12.
That's all the time we have for tonight. I'm Amber Dodd.
And I'm Bailey Pulliam. Catch us next Thursday on Take 30 News. Thanks for watching.